Good morning. This is your Math 4 video for Friday, April 10th, and we are on lesson 123, and we are going to continue on with adding and subtracting fractions, and today we're going to focus specifically on mixed numbers. So, let's go ahead and get this one up on the board. Okay, oh, this is an addition one. Okay, so 2 7/8 plus 1 6/8. Okay, so when we're adding these fractions, we just want to look at this fraction row. So we're not worried about the whole numbers yet. Okay, we're just worried about adding the fractions. So let's add the fractions down. I can see that they both have a denominator of 8, so I can go ahead and add the numerator. 7 plus 6 is 13 over 8. Now notice I didn't put down a 3 and carry a 1, nothing like that. I just added the fraction separately from the whole number, so 13/8. Now I'm going to add the whole numbers. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now my answer is 3 and 13/8. But we can't leave this fraction because this is an improper fraction. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off to the side and write 13/8, and I'm going to think about this for a minute, and I'm going to think, well, I can take one whole out. What is the fraction that I can use that equals one whole? 8/8, right? So I can split this into two parts. I can say 8/8, and what else would we need? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There would be 5 left over. Do you agree that 8/8 and 5/8 equals 13/8? Yes. So this equals one whole. So I'm going to exchange it, turn it into a 1, and it's a 1 whole, so I'm going to add it to the 3. So I'm going to bring the 1 down here, and I'm going to add it to the 3, and I'm going to get 4, and what fraction is left over? 5/8. Now, a lot of this you can do in your head. Okay, so this is not necessarily what you have to write, but this is what you have to think about. Okay, so let's look back at it for just a minute. And really, what I want to do is to take out an 8/8 and move it over to a 1, make this a 4. 13 minus 8 is 5, and 5/8 left over. Okay, that's a little bit faster, but I really want to show you what we're doing. We're taking the whole out of the fraction and we're adding it to the ones place. Okay, let's move on and do the next problem, which is a subtraction problem. And it is 3 1/4 minus 1 3/4. Okay, so here I have a subtraction problem. I'm only focusing on my fraction row. So I'm looking and I'm saying, can I say 1 minus 3 since my denominators are the same? No, I can't say 1 minus 3. Okay, so what do I do when I can't subtract? Well, I borrow from the next number. So I'm going to borrow from the 3, make it a 2, and I'm going to bring my 1 over here. Now, did that 1 do me any good? No. Okay, what do I need to do to this 1 to help me? Well, I need to take my 1 and say, well, what fraction can I use that's equal to 1 that will help me? 4/4. Do you agree? So I'm going to exchange my 1 for a 4/4, and I'm going to combine my 4/4 and my 1/4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So my fraction becomes 5/4. Okay? 5/4. Now can I say 5 minus 3? Yes, 5 minus 3 is 2. My denominator stays the same. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now my fraction is 1 2/4. Okay? So when we're adding, our work comes down here to take out the whole and move it over. When we're subtracting, if we have to borrow, then we have to take the 1, and as we're moving it over, break it into a fraction. Okay, that way we can subtract properly. Okay, you may not always have to carry 1 over here. You may not always have to borrow here, but now you know how to. Okay, so go ahead and get started on your work. Take your time. Okay, go slow to go fast, and Marco Polo me if you need help with these.